What's going on, my fellow troops? My name is Xavvo and welcome back to a brand new video. So today I'm going to be bringing you guys the best MTZ-762 battle rifle class inside of Modern Warfare 3. We are currently in Season 3. Season 3 Reloaded is actually just around the corner. I think it might be dropping in about 2 days or something like that. But I'm almost certain that this weapon probably won't get patched. This doesn't usually happen to most of the more relevant weapons. They usually don't get patched. It's not really a meta weapon, so you don't have to worry about this going into the Reloaded update. But yeah, so to essentially, if you want your gameplay to look very similar to this, then just follow this video through to the very end and I'll explain all the best attachments for this weapon. I'll explain the general class setup, so like the gear and everything else we're running to bring this weapon up and improve it even more. So let's just get straight to it. So generally speaking, as a little breakdown for anyone before we get into the class, for anyone who doesn't really understand these weapons too well, for the MTZ-762, where you're going to notice it's very good and, you know, its performance seems to be, you know, at its best, is regarding its distance. So its firing distance is great, you know, its range, bullet velocity. It has a very high amount of damage output, and it also has the ability to do fully automatic. And if you don't want to do fully automatic, you can always switch to single fire. Either way, both of these firing rates will feel very good with this class, because what I've done is made it so powerful in terms of its actual damage output and its recoil control that in both scenarios, if you were to use either the fully automatic or the single fire, you're going to have high accuracy regardless, and you're going to be delivering a high amount of damage to players when you're shooting them. So what I will say though is there is a downside to using fully automatic. Whilst the kills will be definitely a lot more easier and a lot more quicker, they will consume a lot more ammo, so you will definitely have to reload a far lot more. Whilst if you're using single fire, you'll have to reload less, but the kills will probably be a little bit more harder to get. However, still, generally speaking, with how much damage is delivered per shot, you still will probably get the kill very easily. So it's a very useful type of battle rifle. I'm not actually sure if I put this one high in my ranking when I did the whole Forged video for these battle rifles. I don't know if I said this was one of the best ones or if it was just kind of in the middle. It might have even been the Sidewinder that I said was the best. I can't really remember, unless it was the Bass B. It probably was that. But honestly, I've had a blast just using this battle rifle because it's just so fun to use. There's only one real downside to this weapon that I will probably say, and it's literally just the fact that you will feel that it's weighted running around with this weapon. Like, it does feel quite slow compared to some of the other weapons you're using. Like, your mobility will be quite slow. You'll feel kind of weighted down a little bit. So if you feel this weight and you kind of hate how it feels, there might actually be even a change that you can do to the class setup itself. Not the attachments, but the class setup that will help this, but it will definitely bring down the performance regarding more ammo and that kind of stuff. So you can always change up a vest, and I'll explain that a bit more. But with that generally being said and put out of the way, let's get to the actual class setup. Okay guys, so here we are on the class setup area. As you can see, we've got the MTZ-762 as our primary. Of course, why wouldn't we? Like, this is literally the whole point of the video. The second weapon I've got is a shotgun, and we're running the Haymaker. This is personally just my choice because with this type of vest that I'm running, you have to have two primaries. So that is the one downside I'd say to using this vest. However, the good thing about running the gunner vest is it's going to give you the maximum ammo when you deploy for this weapon, and it's going to improve your reload speed. Now, granted, with this weapon, none of the magazines are actually slow to reload with. None of them are, but we are looking at the max ammo. That's what we really want from this vest, so that's why I'm running that. And the reason we're running maximum ammo for this weapon is because, like I say, even if we're using single fire, but mainly with the fully automatic, it runs through ammo so quickly, you reload so quickly, that you're just going through ammo really, really fast, and you end up not having a sufficient amount overall on your weapon. So gunner vest for me seems like the best choice, and it gives me the most ammo when I come into the match. But even then, I would say there's a downside to this vest, and that is that you don't feel like you can move very quickly, because even though I wouldn't say that's a byproduct of using this vest, it's definitely something that you will feel if you don't, say, use the infantry vest. So I can understand some people probably wouldn't want to run the gunner vest, and because of this sort of clunky weighted feeling when you're moving about, you might even be tempted to just stick on infantry vest for increased tact sprint duration and that kind of stuff. Again, this is completely up to you. You aren't going to have boots either on the gunner vest, so that's another reason some people might want to switch to Sniper Infantry Vest is so that they can also get the attack sprint duration and refresh time increased, but then they also get the ability to put boots on the class and, let's say, put on the lightweight boots for faster movement. I can totally see that playing out either way. You make your pick. Do you want to play with faster movement but less ammo, or do you want more ammo but slower movement? That's personally what I've gone with, so I'm running Gunner Vest. I'm using the Stim as the tactical and then the drill charge as a lethal. Then I'm running the munitions box for additional ammo because, like I say, you want as much ammo as possible with this weapon, considering it can do fully automatic. For the gloves, I'm running assault gloves. This is going to improve our ADS accuracy and time whilst jumping, so that is awesome. Most of these kind of battle rifles, marksman rifles and stuff like that, you will want ADS improvement while jumping because this is going to be something you might do quite a lot in game. And as well as that, I am running the gear. I've just left this as something I usually use, and that's the tac mask, because we're already kind of slow with this vest as it is. The last thing I want is to be slowed down even more by anyone's flash, stuns, you know, gas grenades, that kind of thing. I don't want any of that. So now let's get to the attachments for the MTZ-762. The very first attachment that I put on this weapon is actually the muzzle, and I am running the monolithic suppressor. This thing is awesome at controlling your recoil. Now, a lot of these attachments, as you will see, do tend to take quite a hit to ADS, but what you will notice is ADS isn't even the problem with this gun. ADS is perfectly fine with this class, it's just the movement. So movement, again, like I say, can be probably improved if you had some boots on and a different vest. At the end of the day, don't worry about these cons. They're not going to affect the gun at all, if that anyway, so you're not really going to notice. So monolithic suppressor is awesome for delivering that further recoil control that you need at kind of general medium to long ranges. It's just going to really wait out the end of the weapon and make the weapon feel more balanced. For the barrel, I'm actually running the MTZ Clinch Pro barrel. Now, I have looked at two of these barrels here, and both of them seem preferable. In fact, I looked at this one and thought, why would I use the MTZ Clinch Pro when I could use the MTZ Precision Blackthorn? The only problem here is that this one seems to prioritize bullet velocity and range by 3 times, but then it doesn't really prioritize the recoil as much as this one does, or gun kick, and there are two things that are definitely messing with the weapon a lot. So I think that the MTZ Clinch Pro is one of the better barrels to run, but I can totally see why people might look at this and think, we don't really need that much focus on recoil, we can probably control it, some of it ourselves, you know, and let the weapon do the rest. This one, you know, will improve the range and bullet velocity, but like I say, both of these do that. It's just that this one prioritizes it 3 times over than 2 times over, but the MTZ Clinch Pro is definitely going to be your best bet for the barrel. And over here, we are running the optic. Of course, we are running the slate reflector. It's nice and simple, gives us a much more precise aim, and it just looks cleaner overall for getting those kills. And the next thing we are actually running is the magazine. Now, I will say this now, the magazine isn't going to give you more ammo. It's kind of counterintuitive. You'd think putting a magazine on is supposed to give you more ammo, but what actually happens here is it swaps ammo around, and what I mean is that by default you have 20 rounds and 100 reserve ammo, but when you put on the 30 rounds you have 30 rounds in the main weapon but 90 in reserve. So all it's done is take 10 of them out of the reserve and put them into your primary rounds. It's bought you a little bit more time essentially. It means you don't have to reload quite as much as if you had the 20 rounds default, but it's not giving you more ammo. It's literally just taking 10 out of reserve and then just putting it into the rounds for you. So I think, though, that that is better. I would rather have to reload less if I could take the opportunity than reload more, because this weapon, you already have to reload enough as it is with fully automatic. So I really don't think 20 rounds default would be good. And obviously, taking the 10 rounds, I mean, that is just a plunge into hell. Why would you do that? That is just, at that point, you're actually taking ammo off the weapon, which is even worse. Definitely, you don't want to run the 10 round. I don't think anyone's considering it, but just thought I'd make that clear. So now we have one more attachment, and that one we are running is the stock. The stock that I am actually running on this weapon is the Bruin Arch. I think it's Archangel. That is a tongue twister, that one. Bruin Archangel Mark II. This also is incredible at just controlling recoil by 2 amounts, and it also will improve some of that movement and sprint speed, because of course if we didn't have this one on, goddamn, this weapon would be even slower to run around with. So we want to at least improve some of that movement and sprint speed, at least if we can. So this is a nice little pack that you get for one stock. So there you go. That is the MTZ-762 class that I am actually running for this weapon. Hopefully you guys do enjoy. If this class setup helped you in any way, be sure to drop a like for your boy on this video. It would mean a great deal to me, and it will push the video further in the algorithm so more people like you and me can benefit from this. I do not think this weapon will ever become a meta weapon because, like I say, it's going to have that movement downside, and if it doesn't have the movement downside and you improve that, you're going to have the ammo downside. So the weapon overall is not built or cut out to be a meta weapon, but it's extremely, extremely punchy and powerful. Like, that is one thing I will say. Even with that being said, if you did enjoy using it, again, like I say, the like would really mean a lot. Just drop a comment as well. Let me know what you think of the class. If there's something you would personally change, I'm always open to hear what people would do differently for these classes, because granted, no class can really be the most perfect, well-rounded, best one. It's just the best that I've made, so I hope that it helps you even then. Yeah, but other than that, check out all links down below in the description if you're interested. And yeah, but thank you everyone for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye, guys.